7 years ago. Since that time, the conversation has come right back to where you're going now. So that's you know, everybody's gone this route. Those expenses, that 14,000, exist whether we have the program or not.
Okay.
So really, what you have to do is, okay, what's directly attributable to the program?
So we're looking at the direct.
The 91, less, like you said, the 21, and then figure out what you get reimbursed.
Okay.
And I think it actually swings the other way by about 1,000 or 2.
Okay, and that's if we have 8. Are we guaranteed 8 plus our 2?
For sure, we will have that many students. I mean, I know there are 3 surrounding districts currently that are starting the year full that have absolutely no spots for students that are being staffed in June, which is why, you know, I had asked if we could try to get this passed as soon as possible because these students are pending placement.
Okay, I just wasn't sure.
And the other thing is, this is a annual.
Right, we can review it every year.
You can do it, you know, next year, Kathy was to come to us and say, gosh, there's only 1. We could say, you know what, we can't afford it, we can't do it.
Exactly.
Okay.
So it's annual,
But
so.
no, too, this would be in the kindergarten room, or,
Where would it be?
yeah, right, that's what I was, logistically, where is it? Is it?
It would be in
One of the
the current,
preschool.
yeah, preschool, one of those rooms there.
Would you eliminate one of the afternoon sections then for our regular preschool?
No. No, we have the space right now because of kindergarten.
Oh, I know.
Right.
Okay.
Because we don't need an afternoon kindergarten next year, which does happen from time to time.
Okay. And if
that's
we
what
had
it's-
enough next year, then if we had too many kindergartners next year, then we probably wouldn't have be able to do this program.
Right, that's why it's an annual.
Okay.
So it's,
And would it be 10 separate buses, or is it usually one child?
No, it depends on where the students live, but if they are kids from around the same area, they try to, believe me, they try to get as many students on the same bus as possible.
Because I know congestion is a problem, and then would it be the same release time, or could we stagger
That
the
was a
time?
question that I was going to ask too. What is the length of their day? When do they drop off? When do they pick up? And then how does that correlate to the elementary school's drop-off pickup times? So do we know that information?
It's staggered now.
It is.
Regular entrance time for students, kindergarten through 4 is 8:55. Preschool doesn't start until 9:15. So all buses, all cars are out of there, and then they get the next wave coming in. And then, you know, actually for that, they get out at 3. So the rest of the building is out at 3:20. All the buses know, our regular buses know that they must wait until all the preschool traffic is out of there.
So you don't foresee that as being, okay.
Kelly, if I could, now, you work for us, or you're on Lansing too, right?
No, I'm not with Lansing,
Okay.
I work for you.
So, your experience, I guess I'm concerned, we're asking for $9,100, say, dollars, $9,164, and we're getting charged back from Butler, $7,600 and $8,600 for Western Springs. Is it realistic to expect to receive $9,100 back? Yeah.
The tuition is purely based on what we submit as part of our tuition as a district. And I can tell you in the past, some districts include many things, such as indirect costs. Some districts don't include enough, in my opinion. So
Okay.
That's always been kind of a problem throughout the co-op. There isn't a consistent tuition. Years ago, co-op-wide, there was one set consistent tuition, and that changed because, you know, teacher salaries vary greatly throughout the co-op.
So do the needs of the child.
Exactly.
Have you ever had a problem where, like, I know it says that at the end of the year we bill out to the districts. Have you ever had a problem where a district couldn't pay that bill? Like, you know, because I know a lot of districts are struggling now. I know that they're cutting things. So you've never had a problem where they said, you know, we can't pay you.
No, knock on wood, not in this area.
Okay, I just wanted to make sure.
One potential issue I would have are there's 10 spots, we know 8 for sure. Are we keeping any open for future potential?
Right, I mean,
Pleasantdale?
We do have some blended spots available in our regular tuition-based program, limited. We are able to get reports from the Illinois State Board, sends us ahead of time what students we know are coming out of our early intervention programs.
Based on the testing?
Based on who receives services. So I have an idea 6 months ahead of time who's going to turn 3, who's going to require services. You know, I get little packages on my desk every once in a while with a new student with needs. So that has been taken into consideration, and if there is a student in our district, which there very well may be a third, based on something I received this week after this was even done, we would take into consideration our students first.
Okay, but once this has all been
Once it's
set
filled,
and filled,
then we may have to look to another district.
we would have to possibly outsource one of
Correct.
our students to another district.
Correct.
That's,
I just have, I'm sorry, one more question. I know that Lansing had gotten the grant, the Preschool for All grant, for the ES, for the early childhood classroom. Do they still get that money?
Yes, there are currently 5 districts that are included in that grant.
So they get, those districts get that money?
Correct.
Do you know how much they get?
It's for at-risk students. It's not for special education students. It is approximately $360,000, but it's split across those 5 districts.
Okay, so it's not for special ed, it's
No.
for something different?
No.
Okay, thank you.
Anything else?
We're one more, I'm sorry. We're talking about keeping a third spot open nonetheless, because we were anticipating
We've
that
got one
something
in the
could happen,
pipeline,
right?
right.
Yes.
And now that we have one in the pipeline, would we keep a 4th open? Because one of the things we had talked about a month
Right.
ago was the advantages of that district, or that child being comfortable coming to school in their own district, as opposed to filling the next 7 slots, and then if we do get a child in, July or August, we have to send them elsewhere. So,
I would prefer to hold one more spot.
it's food for thought. I mean,
No,
we
you
have,
guys are the
we have
experts.
talked about it. It's not a matter of if, it's when. So if the when is mid-year, then you don't want to hold a spot for half a year where
Right.
you could be gaining revenue.
Okay.
So that's, we're going to just kind of keep an eye on it.
Okay. I think we're
Thank
ready.
you.
Thanks, Kelly, for being here tonight. Appreciate it.
Okay. Next item concerns a resolution, an IASB resolution regarding ERO. And that is attached, and what this requires is that the board approve this, and then it's advanced on to IASB, and I believe they consider this in June.
Correct.
Is that right?
It had to be submitted by June 22nd.
Right. What I did for this item, because there seems to be some confusion about ERO, and that the district is somehow able to prevent you from taking ERO, and I regret all the misinformation that was disseminated regarding this topic, because the district in fact has no choice with ERO, and I have the information from 2 different attorneys. Terry Hodges is here this evening to address these issues, so I think it's important for the board to clear the air on this thing, and people to truly understand that this was not a situation where the district was in any way delinquent in their duties. We've had over the last decade probably 10 employees who have taken advantage of ERO. They are guaranteed that right by state law. Local contracts do not supersede ERO TRS law. It simply does not happen. So there's no choice the way the law is right now. I think the board is doing the right thing by advancing a resolution on this thing, but I think every board member needs to acknowledge, that this is not something the district was in any shape or form delinquent on, or anything that can be pointed at the Board of Education and say you could have prevented this, because you cannot.
Originally, this was on the consent agenda, and I had asked Mark to pull it off the consent agenda and put it down as a discussion item, not only for I think having a common understanding on ERO, but I can speak totally for myself. The wording of this resolution was not apparent until we received this. And I really felt like with some of the discussion that had taken place at the board level and comments that had been made, that there was almost an expectation that this resolution was for us to state an opinion or for us to take a position on elimination of ERO. When I read this resolution from IASB, to me it simply states that if we take action upon this, that we're just saying, you know, we'll support whatever you do, IASB, that would give the Board of Ed